Hello and welcome back to episode 9 of Rule the Waves 2 as Japan. We are currently in December of 1915. I'm hoping in this episode we're kind of coming off of a war and we'll be able to look into building some initial carriers. We are building a few seaplane carriers, 2 in fact, the Tasago Maru and the Houghton Maru. And we're just going to kind of be developing ourselves as we kind of go in between this interwar period as we build into 1920, where carriers will start to become a thing that can actually be built and utilised. Part of that is going to be thinking about building air bases, going to be thinking about building more submarines, and just kind of covering gaps that we currently have. So we came off the last war and we got a lot out of it actually. We took all of the German possessions in Asia, which means that we're very close to actually recreating the Japanese empire as it was in like 1938, 1939. The main areas that we need to take is obviously an expedition to China, seizing all of French Indochina, seizing French islands over here. Now, there are two, France is the easy target at the moment in this area, while we have the UK, which its battleships speak for themselves. It's currently building 5 of them at a time, they're only being somewhat compared in construction capacity to the United States of America. We are nearly the 3rd largest naval budget in the world. That's something we're kind of competing for. So we need to fight. We're going to eventually have to fight the US, eventually have to fight Britain. And I'd rather have that when we have all of our territories. I want to get rid of Russia out of Siberia and East Asia. I want to get rid of France out of Indochina. That's going to be our 2 objectives. And then we'll look towards potentially fighting America. So now we have to, so let's get into it, and we're gonna have to put everything into reserve. I'm gonna mothball all of our ships. So mothball, go to mothball please, thank you very much. And we're gonna do that for all of our light cruisers. I'm gonna keep those in. I'm going to scrap our 2 older ships here. We can wait. We'll wait a little bit until we have the new ships out. Okay, those are mothball. Foreign station. Let's put these into a foreign station situation. That's good. Reserve fleets. These guys, we're going to scrap these. We don't need them. We are going to need more corvettes, though. Definitely. We currently have 2 Akoma class battle cruisers on the way. So these go 27 knots. They have 6 14-inch guns. Quite lightly armored, but they are very fast, have very high levels of firepower, and so it can be used for raiding, it can be used for other things. And then we also have our seaplane carriers on the way. We are building larger docks. I do want to build some air bases, so we can look at air bases over here. We can't build air bases, I see. We'll have to wait on that then. What is the current situation over with France then? They have 2 dreadnoughts, no battle cruisers, and they're building 1 more dreadnought. They have 5 pre-dreadnoughts, 5 armored cruisers, 2 light cruisers, 22 destroyers. So they're pretty equal. So I'm going to put high intel efforts into them. I'm going to put none into Germany because Germany's out of Asia. It's not our concern at the moment. Low on you. Low on. I'm going to put high on Russia as well, and then low on the US. Actually, let's put low on Russia. I want to go to war with France specifically next. Alright, let's do next turn. Fleet tactics, mine rails. Rebellion has broken out in Cuba, so that would be over here at Guantanamo Bay. So we'll see if that anything actually comes of that. We've got quite a bit of money actually. So what I'm going to do is not build. We could build. Yeah, let's build some submarines actually. I'm gonna order up 6 submarines to be built. So those will be our first submarines, because those will be useful in an eventual conflict in all of the Pacific. Having large submarine fleets can really change the tide of war. So we'll put a bunch of those on the way. Germany, bunch of ships being scrapped. older ships, that is. Let's design a light cruiser, actually, because that is something that I know that we got a new armor situation. I thought we did. Slope deck, flat deck, protected cruiser. I guess we're a slope deck. I'm not exactly sure the difference. So this will be, we'll go 6,000 tons. These light cruisers are so slow in comparison. We'll go 27 knots. Our heavy cruiser 26 knots, so we'll go 26 knots actually. 6-inch guns works for me. We could go 7-inch. We can't add. Can we add multiple torpedo tubes? I guess we can't at this level of technology. Deck armor, at least 2 inches of deck armor. That's mandatory there. We'll go 2 inches of turret armor. And I'm going to add in 4-inch secondary guns to fill in the gaps. There we go. So that'll be plenty. And then we can also put mines in there as well, which obviously does increase anti-submarine warfare capability, but that's not really a job for the light cruisers. That works for me though. 36 mines. Everything's checked. Alright, 2 months to design that. I get that on the way. A major firm wants to sell ships to a South American country. This will be good for arms industry, but risks leaking. Yes. Money, please. Better torpedoes. What is our current technology situation? We have a very good fire control rating. We got 15-inch guns on the last research. Shipboard operations, we have seaplane carriers. Amphibious origin exercise. Okay, so not the best. Design study on that will be done. We've got those on the way. Hydraulic pistols enables seaplane bases, so we can now build air bases. That's fantastic news. And then we're gonna build. Let's build 2 light cruisers of the Naniwa class. Get them on the way. Though I don't think we're gonna be able to build those until we get some more money from these guys. And also we've got all our submarines currently under construction, as you can see here. So air bases. So we're gonna definitely want an air base over on no, not improved bases. We want an air base over on Formosa or Taiwan. So build, expand air base. We're gonna build 2 sets of air bases there. We want an air base obviously over on Japan. So Kitsikashu, Saizubo, Meizo, we'll build 3 air bases there. Laotang, I want one at Port Arthur. And then let's go for the North Marianas, so Saipan. So that'll cost us quite a bit of money once those are up, but that's going to give us seaplanes, and seaplanes are useful for scouting information. But eventually we can obviously put fighters there, and that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to build that infrastructure up so we can build fighters as we need them. Fire control, target designator. These are on fire and submarine warfare, because submarines are going to become a much larger issue eventually. As we can see here, we're going to get up to much higher numbers. We're trying to catch up in terms of our submarines, but we're going to need some decent anti-submarine warfare. Yeah, I want to replace these as much as we can because their speed is really letting me down. These are fine for now. They came out in 1914. It's 1916 at the moment. And then we'll obviously want to replace these with the 2 new battleships that will be on the way. We are lacking funds. Why are we lacking funds? I guess from all the bases we're building, that would do it, wouldn't it? We're gonna halt construction on those, and we'll have these done. Yeah, we'll do next term. Oh, a slump. That's great. We finished construction of the air bases. That's fantastic news. Yes. So, aircraft. Where are they at? Air groups. So, obviously they want fighters, but we don't really have any fighters. We need to develop aircraft. So, if we go to aircraft types here, we don't have any aircraft at the moment. What we can do, though, is we can request a design for a float plane scout. So we mainly want reliability, We want range. We want a reliable, long-range scout. At least that's my opinion. So we're going to request proposals, and the private industry will get back to us and give us something that we can work with. So hauling construction submarines. We did just finish those air bases up. I'm just going to halt construction on these two for now until we get our economy back. Aircraft exceeded on Kiyochatsu. Okay, disband these, please. Disband. Yeah, you can just have flying boats. We don't really have fighters for now, so we're just going to do flying boats. So I'm going to change these to 20 aircraft. So change them to 20. And once we actually get into the game or into a battle, you'll be able to see these as they'll take off and they'll obviously do things. That's a French flying boat. French battleship, the Corvette, 10 15-inch guns, 20 knots. Very lightly armored, but it's got some real heavy firepower on it. But light armor. So interesting. Very, very interesting design there. What's the current economic situation for people? Yeah, the economy is not looking too great. We're about on par now with France, though. Airbase in Formosa. Yes. There we go. We finished construction on Lautang. Northern Marianas. And we finished up a destroyer. That's also good to see. So now we're in the positive. We can resume construction efforts. So I'm going to resume construction there. I'm also going to resume construction on our submarines. And submarines are like they're less. They work in the background, and sometimes they can work in battles where like someone will hit a submarine and the submarine will blow them up after they leave combat. But they have reliability, and higher reliability the better they are usually. Though reliability is usually pretty low at the moment. Yeah, I do understand that. That does not fit our requirements at the moment. We need 2 turns. We should have a float plane on the way. A regional war seems imminent on the Asian mainland. One of our major arms manufacturers wants to step up exports to likely belligerents. Yes, let's do that. Let's get some more money in. If we can support fighting the French out of here, that'd be great. Expensive advances, improved seaplane carriers. That's definitely something we want to look at. Float plane designs. Okay, so this is where we get to decide what design we're going to go for. So we have max speed. So this is in knots, I'm pretty sure. Cruising speed knots. The range, I'm pretty sure that's in kilometers. I would presume that's in kilometers. Though obviously they'd have half the range, I would imagine, or maybe that's included. I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure people correct me. Maneuver, toughness, firepower. I guess that has to do with fighting other crafts, taking fire, that kind of thing. Reliability, we don't know yet. We're gonna have to see these guys in service. So this has more range and higher speeds with high maneuverability. So I know what I'm going for. I'm going to go for that. So we're going to get that guy in, and that should then we should then get all our seaplanes ordered up into our air bases, which is good to see. And eventually we can put seaplane hangars on battleships and battle cruisers, and we can use them to do scouting for us without necessarily needing a carrier fleet. We did just finish up that set of destroyers. We're going to finish up these two, and then we're going to look at a larger seaplane carrier because he's only carrying 5 aircraft apiece, and they're pretty cheap. Interesting in buying rights. By all means, you can buy the rights. Rebellion continues. Let's keep building dock size up. What is going on with our air groups? Because we have the... Yeah, we have you. You're in service at the moment. So this is airbase, flying boat. 8 airships, total number of aircraft, 8 airships. Change role. No. Add air unit. Air groups and maximum shut. If I disband you, I add. Can't add a seaplane scout, I see. Move all to reserve though. That reserve. Move everything to reserve for now because that's going to cost us money. Also add aircraft. Flying boat, flying boat. See, that's an issue. I'm not sure why it's not taken. Is it because it's a seaplane scout and not a flying boat? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I'm being a little bit stupid. I would imagine so. Copy. No, I want you to copy, paste. There we go. I would imagine that's a float plane scout. So we need a flying boat. Compare all aircraft. Yeah, no, not compare all aircraft. Compare all aircraft of flying role. No. Float plane scout. Yeah, we need request proposals for new aircraft. We need a flying boat. That's my bad. Let's get on the way. And that should be done in 5 turns. Alright, the Houghton Maru has been put into active service. Sell us the rights for small tube boilers. Yep, let's go for that, because that means one less technology we need. So that means that we have the... Where are you at? The Houghton Maru. So the Houghton Maru, I'm going to put that into a mothball for now. But that means that we should have aircraft added onto that. So if we go to... I would hope so. Maybe it needs a turn to go through. Unexpected mountings, gradual rate of fire improvements. Can I do air groups now? Port Arthur, floatplane, reserve all. Not sure why I can't. We'll put you in reserve fleet for now. With no aircraft flying below, some agents cannot equip. Yeah, I kind of got that. A lot more money we just had come in. I'm going to order up some more submarines then. I'm going to order up 6 coastal submarines. So these guys sit out on the coast. They're very short range. Okay, the first Tacoma class battleship will finish. Reaching design speed, that's unfortunate. They've crushed the rebels there. So with that done, I'm going to design a new battleship. So let's have a look at what we're currently facing. So France don't have any battle cruisers. They can have their battleships. We have the 15-inch guns. We know that they have pretty heavy armament as well, so we need something to match them. So let's go for an order design. We're going to go for a... What's the current size? Okay, so our largest ship we've done is 21,000 tons. So we're pretty small size-wise. So we are going... We've got a little bit more room in the budget. We're going to go for a larger battleship. So I'm going to say, let's go for a 30,000 ton battleship. 21 knots is okay. That's the speed of our normal dreadnoughts. 15-inch guns of lower quality, or we want 14-inch guns. So 14-inch guns, maximum range of 20,000 yards. These have 20,240. So we might as well go with 14-inch guns. We're not getting much benefit out of the 15-inch guns yet until we get better capability there. So we have on port wing, so we can add quite a few guns here. So we're gonna add, I want midships, forward center line, 4 max center line turrets. Okay. So we'll go with, well, we can have on midships, right? So I'll do starboard port midships wings, double turrets. Okay, that might be a little bit, I need starboard port. Did it be this? No, that's on the port wing. We need port, starboard midships wing. There we go. That should be okay. Yeah. Normal freeboard, please. Normal range. Belt armor at 14 inches. We'll go 2-inch deck armor. I don't really care about the extended right now. Conning tower, we can go on 8 inches. Accommodation, that needs to be normal. Turret armor, we'll go 10 inches on the turret armor. We don't need that heavy, but yeah, we've got quite a few here. So firepower, low speed, but good armor. So we don't really need a belt, an extended belt either. So 14 inches on the belt armor. Let's go 2.5 on the deck. We can go oil, can't we? Yeah, we can. So oil, I'm pretty sure. Oh, we've not developed oil firing. Oh, for God's sakes. Cool. We can delete torpedo mount, and something that I am going to do, flight installations, is we can add a seaplane hangar, I'm pretty sure. And we can add, let's say, 2 seaplanes that we can add to the craft, and that means that we'll be able to use scouting with it. Obviously, there'll only be 2 of them, but it does give you some capability. Torpedo defense, that needs to go up as much as possible. Do we have TPS 2? No, we have TPS 1, I'm pretty sure. Oh, we don't even have TPS 1, okay. Conning tower, turret tops, so secondary armament, so 6-inch guns. Here are 7-inch guns. Not sure if that gives us too much more. I mainly want number of guns, not really. Yeah, we'll go 26-inch, and I'm going to get rid of the tertiary armament. Deck armors, that's fine. We could go up to the conning tower. I think that's also fine. No anti-aircraft guns yet. Yeah, it's a pretty basic ship. It's got 14 inches of belt armor though, so belt. So we'll be able to survive a, like, how would we survive a 15-inch shell? Because that's what they have, right? So we would be able to survive a 15-inch shell into the belt armor at ranging of 9,000. We have an immunity zone of 9,000 yards to 15,000 yards against 15-inch guns. Deck armor. So we can pierce through 2.5 inches of deck armor. Obviously, you're sloping down in. Yeah, I think 2.5 inches work. We'll go 14-inch guns. That also works. How much is this going to cost us? 3,000 a pop. Yep, I know, understand that. Let's get that underway. That's going to be quite a bit of money to get that design on the way, but we'll hopefully be able to afford it. I'm not too sure on the ability to do that. I'm not sure we're going to be able to afford these at all. So I'm going to just resume. No, I don't want to accelerate normal construction phase. Resume construction. Yeah, halt construction on that. We don't really have the money for that. We can put you into a reserve status though. But yeah, you're fine for now. Okay, next time. Float planes. So, range, maneuver, speed and range is the main thing. They're about the same. I'm going to go for the Mitsubishi. So that should mean that they should start equipping themselves adequately with all those. So with that done, we'll have 4,500, which means we need to make up like quite a bit if we want to be able to afford the Shikishima class. So we'll put that in design sleeve for now. I don't think we'll be able to afford it immediately, so I'm just going to resume construction on these two. I'm going to look at designing a larger seaplane carrier of some kind. We'll see, but we definitely need those light cruisers built. And if I have a look over on the situation, so we have plenty of destroyers compared to France. Same amount of light cruisers, same amount of armored cruisers. We have more pre-dreadnoughts. We have more of almost everything compared to France. So if we can fight France, that'd be great. 6 submarines, and we got the Tasahago. Good. This is the meddling of France. I'm sure of it. There we go. So, can I have a look at these air groups again? Yeah, so auto-rad aircraft. See, that's a problem. Why do we not have 10 float planes on ships, 8 airships? So we should have the aircraft on the actual seaplane carriers. The problem is that these guys are like not working properly. So I'm going to do active auto-rad aircraft, flying boats. That's fine. Maybe if I do this, that'll work. Let me try that. Copy air group, paste air group. Then I'm going to put you on actives. Maybe if they go active, they'll be able to do it again. I'm not very clear on aircraft usage. But perhaps that will sort them out, because we do have a flying boat now. So I don't see why they would not be able to. Yeah, we just finished up that. We can look at building Could build 2 more battle cruisers again. And those are costing 2,500 each, so might be able to afford it. Harakaze, light cruiser. We need more corvettes. I know that for damn sure. So corvette, auto design 600. This is fine. I do not care about designing this vessel. Yeah, 1 month. And then I'm also going to look at designing a destroyer. Now, I care a little bit more about how this is going to be designed. So 30 knots, 1,100 tons. 12 mines, mine sweeping as well. Let's put some mine sweeping gear on top. We can't put any K guns on. Lots of torpedo tubes though. 140 rounds. We'll do 3-inch guns instead. Coal, cramped conditions. Let's do normal conditions. Let's go 29 knots. Yeah, 29 knots. I'm okay with that. Slightly overweight. That's fine by me. 1 month. Economizer. Well, we got that. Float plane scout. This just looks like a worse version of what we have, so that'll be a no. We can build some of them. So let's build an initial batch of 4 of them. And then we can also build you. Let's build 2 of them immediately. And then those will be for trade protection, primarily speaking. But yeah, they have mines. We'll have those light cruisers on the way. We're going to have the Haruna finish up. I'm not sure why we're not able to get the aircraft into the air groups exactly. Air group at maximum strength, I understand that. But it's not allowing addition, if you know what I mean. Direct to fire, that's a big deal. Rework the design, please. And we can add that directly on, in fact. So weight remaining, that works for me. So we're gonna redesign, yes, Shikihima. But yeah, the Haruna will be finishing up here shortly. Yes, it will. Industrialization. Maybe they need to work up first. That would explain it. Haruna's been commissioned. Another excellent. We'll take the offer. The Mitsuki. We should do our newest and most powerful ships. Sit back and figure out airship bombardment. Construction, not now. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Do not do anything there. All right. Again, I'm not sure what's going on with this. They want flying boats. I understand that. We have flying boats though. We have aircraft type flying boats. I don't understand why they do not want it. Fine. What I am going to then build is I'm going to build some bases. Hokkaido, we're going to build some air bases. Bismarck Archipelago, Marshall Islands, Caroline Islands, we'll get those built. And we've just finished up those battleships being constructed, so we'll see. World economy recovered. There's been an upheaval in Mozambique. We should not enter. We should not enter that. Battleship. Not now. Not now. And building larger docks. Above water torpedoes on light cruisers. That's interesting. We definitely want to be looking into that. Displacement. Of those 4 destroyers on the way. Let's build more corvettes. 6 more corvettes. Those will be for trade protection. We've got France currently on the way and doing things. So next turn, new docks. Finished working up. Better 10-inch guns. Yes, yes. Oh, it needs to be ready for operational service. That explains a lot. You need to be put into reserve. So there we go. Got 4 ships. We're going to scrap this guy. I'm going to scrap you. I guess they still want to keep these ships around. I really don't want to keep those ships around, but what can I do about it? How many submarines do we have in comparison to other nations? France has 34 submarines, Jesus. Let's invest in those destroyers then, because that is definitely something I want to be careful about. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more destroyers. So that's really building up our destroyer fleet. We're kind of not building any battleships right now, just to go with it. Finish construction of the airbase. Yes. Finish construction of the airbase. Finish construction of airbase. There we go. We've been re-equipped properly. So that should now mean that we have... Yes, flying boats are actually being equipped. We have 8 multi-engine airplanes in service at the moment. They'll take some time to actually build the aircraft to get them on, I'm pretty sure. So we'll just have to wait for that. 40,000 ton dockyard. We're just building attention with France. 16-inch guns. Yes, thank you very much. We're going to get some 16-inch guns. That's very, very nice. Sell us the rights for 8-inch guns. No, I don't want that because that'll bankrupt us. We need to halt construction. Halt construction for a bit on that. It is one I doubt. France. Most likely enemy. We got Krupp Cement. Looks like we're going to go to war with France in probably 1919. I would imagine. So resume construction on that. That will go with good submarines. You see the reliability here, the year they've been built. We'll have those done. I'm going to order up another... how many are we building? We're building 6. So we'll build another 6 submarines. And then they'll get taken over once they finish. Commission 6 submarines. Torpedo technology. No, I don't want to give that to you. Maneuver. So they developed a new model, the TACAB B, and that just seems like a complete improvement. So yes, we will allow that. So 6 more of those being built. And we're looking to get into that war with France. Now, in terms of battleship numbers, we have 4 dreadnoughts, 2 of them are battlecruisers, and then they have no pre-dreadnoughts in service. We have a couple pre-dreadnoughts in service still, although most nations have gotten rid of them at this point. We should take part in a multinational force. We must send a strong force. Oil firing, fantastic news. Because we do actually have oil. Yeah, these light cruisers really need to be replaced here. Seaplane carriers, let's actually... I don't really have the money for it, do I? No. I'm going to have to wait for things to be built. What's the invasion range, by the way? Yeah, we don't really have an ability to invade Guan or whatever the hell that's called. Koen Maru. Steel girders. Can't afford that right now. Torpedo technology increased. That's even better. Next term. Battleship scare. That's fantastic news. No, we're not going to give our enemies better technology. So that's increased our budget. We're trying to match France. We're above Germany at the moment. Speaking of, I want to design a seaplane carrier that's bigger. So let's go for 6,000 tons. So it's about the size of a light cruiser. We're going to go for 26 knots. Don't want many guns at all. Flight installations, however, we can add 14 aircraft on board. I want 16 aircraft. Can we get 16 aircraft? 25 knots. 25 knots works for me. Yep. Let's go for 16 aircraft. That'll take 2 months. So that will allow us to have plenty of seaplanes. And obviously seaplanes aren't the most useful. We want to be able to hit things, but early on they're going to provide a lot of useful scouting information. Kisaragi's been... We have no aircraft with fighter capability. Disarmament conference. So we can go for a disarmament conference. But I don't really think we should. We're not in the position where that would hurt us or benefit us. It would hurt us more than it would benefit us. So I'm just going to say no to that. That's going to build tension, but it's also going to keep our budget, which I'm kind of keen to keep. You need to be put into mothball. You need to be put into mothball. So those will be done. We'll have the seaplane done as well. But yeah, I don't really have any invasion capability. I mean, we can invade you in Bougainville. We can't really do an island hopping campaign. 3 corvettes, 2 destroyers, sell right for superheater. Yes, let's do that. That gives us saving on machinery. We can rework the design here. Oil firing, that works for me. Yeah, looks good. Looks good to me. Just do a redesign and that'll be done next month. We did just finish up construction of a lot of corvettes. How many corvettes do we have? Quite a few. I'm going to order up another 6 to be built. Because I want to sort our trade section out so they actually have destroyers doing destroyer things. We should have those destroyers finishing up. We're going to have the designs also finishing up. 2 corvettes. Major shipyards. Issue on orders. Yeah, sure. We'll take the offer. There's been uprising. What size? A battleship, definitely. That's going to really raise tensions up high. There we go. Japan and France at war. Here we go. Surprise attack. Our own forces. Mobilize all ships. Activate all air bases. Friendly ships not available to oppose the enemy area. They oppose. Okay, that's a problem. Yes, extend it. Have them fight in France. We have no aircraft. Enemy fleets dominate seas. Okay, we're at war. We're at war. Our budget just ballooned. So what are the situation we're dealing in South France? We've got 2 dreadnoughts. We're going to move everything, all of our newest vessels, moving them directly into Southeast Asia. So those will go to Southeast Asia. We've got the France situation. They've only got a heavy cruiser there. They have 2 CLs. Where is their navy? They have 1 there. They've got a dreadnought there. So they only have 3 dreadnoughts. So maybe I'm going to send... They don't really have the range for it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try something. I don't usually do this. I'm going to put you on raiding and I'm going to move you. I'm going to move you on your own. Nah, that's insane. You can't do that. No. I was going to say move it to Northern Europe. Let Italy do it. It's fine. These 2, you can move, definitely. We're going to move you as well as a few destroyers. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll move 4 destroyers. I'll move you to Southeast Asia. Not Southeast Asia. Where would that be exactly? South Pacific, I guess, would be the correct place. So we're going to move you to the South Pacific. So that would be here. We do have something in Central Pacific, but they don't have anything in Central Pacific. We're going to start an invasion of you. So let's be moving there. Corvette time. You are all going on trade protection. We don't really have the anti-submarine warfare capability as much as I would want. So I'm going to tell the Harakazes. I'm going to get these into a trade protection. Yeah, let's put these in trade protection as well. Okay, that works for us. Those will be active service. So the newest ones, Harakazes, the Oites. I'm putting you straight into active service. I'm going to send the Oits as well as most of the Harakazes. 2 light cruisers. 2 light cruisers. Yeah, that's what I'm going to send. I'm going to send that as well to Southeast Asia. We're going on the offensive. Alright. That's costing us a lot of money, actually. Let's not do the invasion just yet. Let's get superiority. Submarines are now in service. Now, the big thing that France has invested in they should have 16 currently in service. We have a lot of naval aircraft, though. Like, way more than most people. France, yeah, we should be able to match them. I'm hoping that we can fight them pretty well. Battleship engagement, here we go. They declined the battle. New docks completed, new commissioned. That allows us to convert into actual carriers. Enemy submarines sunk. We sunk 2 enemy submarines. Enemy merchants sunk 2. Fantastic. Italy is doing a good job. We can now build that. We will not build for now. So Italy should be over in Northern Europe at the moment. No, they're not actually. They are in, I guess they're just in the Mediterranean, just screwing up the French, like Corsica, southern France, Algeria, Tangiers. It's weird that Germany actually has Morocco, which is pretty funny. We want to get this war done with, and we don't want to draw any other unwanted attention into the war if we can help it. We'll have these 2 light cruisers done soon, and I want them done. Our navy is ballooned in size, I will say that, though we don't have as many battleships as we would want. Okay, so are we over here? Yes, we are. So funds into the red, 2 destroyers, commissioned, 12-foot rangefighter. Okay. One submarine is torpedoed a coal transport. That's fantastic news. Okay, we're gonna hold. I mean, that'll be sorted next turn. That's fine. So research for now that can go to low. We need to convert. So we can actually convert probably one of these guys. So what we'll do is we will open design for a rebuild, and then we will add in a flight deck, and then we can add in this. We can take away all the guns. Delete turrets. Delete turrets. We'll keep the secondary guns. That's fine. We can go for 18 aircraft. We don't need any turret armor, obviously. Secondary armor can be 1 inch, 2 inches of secondary armor, and we can go for 21 aircraft. Okay, Battleship is developed light aircraft carrier conversions. Cannot have a displacement of more than 16,000 tons. I see. Luckily, we have an Iki class still sitting around, which means we can actually do this. So, get rid of the guns. Clear turrets. Clear all turrets. This is actually suits better for us as well. 15,000 tons of flight deck. We don't need much armor on the secondaries. We'll go for... We can armor the deck armor, but that's the age-old question of do you armor your carriers, which I'm not going to do. Yeah, that works for us. We don't need fire control positions, so let's just get rid of those as well. So that means we have 18 aircraft. Local yard. So this ship has no fire control positions. That's fine. This fire control is not the best type. I guess we'll add 1 fire control position. Carrier speed below 20 knots must have at least 1 capital. That's a problem, isn't it? We might have to, let's replace machinery. Might have to do it. 21 knots. Cannot have secondary guns if no main guns. That is true. So we're going to get rid of those. Then we're just going to add in like 6-inch guns. Port, aft, starboard aft, port, single casemates. I guess that doesn't really work. Aft, forward, single turret. No, let's just do port, starboard, port. New turrets must be shield mount, single rebuild error. Firing control is not for the best time. Fine. Can I just add Let's do casemates. Oh my god. Fine. You know what? We don't just strip all the turrets off. Firing control is best something on. We don't need the firing control. We don't need any guns. It's fine. This is fine. This is completely fine. Oil. We can rebuild to oil, but that's going to cost us quite a bit of money, so let's not do that. Replacing the machinery does suck, but there's not much which we can do about it. We've got 18 aircraft on. We can go for a few more actually now. So 21 aircrafts, and we're gonna go for that. Okay, so we'll get that into rebuild. Ships under construction, submarines under construction. Those will be done 4 months. That will be done somewhat shortly. Let's hold construction on that for now. And yeah, so we're gonna build that, which means we do need to get ourselves a fighter proposal. So we can compare current fighters, right? So max speed, max speed, max speed. We don't know the other components, but so France, that's what we're kind of looking at. So let's request proposals for a fighter role, reliability, and range. And then I'm also going to request roles. We'll request roles for dive bomber later on. We should be able to get a dive bomb, I believe. We're a little bit in debt at the moment, but what can we do? Battleship engagement. Okay, here we go. So we have, we'll end the episode off with this. A long episode today. So what do we have? We have the Izumi with 2 destroyers, the Kisaragi and the Kamikaze in the front. We have the battleships Zaven and Katori with 4 or 3 destroyers, the Fumizuki, the Mikazuki, and the Yukaze. We should have an airbase. Yes, we do have an airbase there. We have airbase on both sides, so we'll be able to launch aircraft, which we'll get to in a moment. We have the battlecruisers Ikoma, the battlecruiser Haruna, as well as the destroyers the Hayate, the Unagi, the Oit, and the Mutsuki. So we should be at a 2-to-1 dreadnought advantage, so this should be a pretty easy game and combat. We can, however, look at the aircraft. So we have aircraft wing on the airbase over here on airbase Takao. So we can handle carrier air protection. So we're gonna do search pattern. So this is kind of like, this is where your aircraft will search, from my understanding. Though it's coming from the battleship. I'm not sure how that works with the Katori, but either way, we don't need a very high carrier air protection, or close air protection, I guess would be the little carrier air protection. We're going to reduce the distance massively. We're gonna go, I think, go up towards where China is, but go downwards. I like that. Let's do that search. I'll locate the pattern. I'm not exactly too familiar with carrier controls in this game, but we'll see. All right, so let's start the game off. Unknown ship has been sighted. So I'm gonna max speed light cruisers. I'm gonna max speed the battleships. I'm gonna send. So these guys can go 26 knots. So I'm gonna think about sending them. We're gonna send them downwards now. We'll send these battleships down as well. These have bigger guns though. These the Haruna has 14-inch guns in comparison to these Zavens, which only have 8 12-inch guns. Though these can take a much heavier hit. So we want these to be taking the fire than these to be not taking the fire. Now, someone did say that the wind direction is where it, the wind direction is not what I thought it was. It's the where it's coming from. So I think that's what they said. So northwest. So the wind's coming from this direction and it's heading downwards. So that means if we fire our weapons, this way, it'll be fired back. The smoke will go back into our guns. So we ideally, I'm going to be firing from up here, or firing side to side, I guess, and they'll be just at the same disadvantage. We'll see. Okay, light cruiser. Let's go for a scout. So recon taking off from the airbase here. We should be able to see that happen. There we go. We got a Ryuzi recon plane, which you can even see. Very cool. On the way, and they'll be providing some recon support for us. So Zaven on the way for us. We've got these battleships. We'll just keep incrementing along here. So we've got 2 ships. A lot of those are probably the dreadnoughts. Yep. We'll get some positive identification if possible. We've got a merchant ship, which is a bit out of the way here. We also have the Yama. What formation are you in? Scout or screen formation, I guess. So that is a Misana class. So that's 4 14-inch guns. So very lightly armed in terms of number of weapons. Heavy armor though. Heavy armor. So definitely going to be wanting to get the battle cruisers into this. They have very long range on them. Is that the Misana class as well? That's the Brenner's class. Brenner's 4 14-inch guns. So they're about the same vessel. They're smaller though than our ships. We're going to have our light cruisers wave off, and we're going to get the Zaven and Katori moving up, and then we're going to send the Haruna downwards. In the meantime, these are our recon aircraft coming over, and they should get us a fuller picture of the battlefield as they do. They're not going to be that important because it's going to be a very close range engagement. We're going to move downwards here, and then we're going to move these battle cruisers to try and get behind them using their speed. Because these are going 26 knots, these are going 20 knots. We're a little bit faster on our ships. But we are going to clear off the light cruiser. We're going to have you go southward. Taking some shots. I don't like you taking shots like that. Can we get you out of there, please? Okay, we've opened up with the Katori and the Zaven. That's torpedo ranging. This is our actual gun range. So these guys have very large range guns. So we should be shooting from both sides. So actual effectiveness is not going to be very good at this range. Okay, get in behind. Is there only 2 of them here? I guess there is. They've got no escorts. If they've got no escorts, I'm going to have you change up, do squad max, but I'm going to change your formation to line ahead. Okay, we're firing our 12-inch guns. We're getting some good hits in. I'm going to cut them off. I'm going to send my destroyers. AI control. We're going to max speed. I'm going to get you in front if we can. Battle cruisers are going to chase from the rear. Okay. Near misses on the Katori. We're exchanging fire. We're taking some of our own. And we're firing our shells into them. We're getting a few good hits. They've got a much longer rate of fire than we have because they are on those 14-inch guns in comparison. Okay, torpedo away from the Izumi. And can we get another torpedo out? No, we can't because it's only got port and starboard side. Ooh, that looked like a good torpedo there. Okay, the battle cruisers, they're turning. We're going to turn the destroyers around. We're going to get the battleships moved. Azumi's going to fall back. We're going to fall back on these guys. We're going to move up the Fumikaze and the Mikazuki. I guess would be the correct word. Okay, we're opening up with the Ikoma and the Haruna onto this, and we're actually in a good direction for the win now. So we're going to move you this way. And then, yeah, Azumi move backwards. We've got some random torpedoes being able to actually fire over. Okay. Move down. Okay, good. Let's move you that way. Critical hit. Fire control damage. We took fire control damage? That's really not good. Let me have a look at the Ikoma. Yeah, we lost one of the fire controls, at least damaged. But we're still okay-ish. We're fired off our 14-inch guns. Okay, I'm going to send this fleet, see if we can get some torpedo hits. We are hitting them quite a few times here, though we have taken some damage of our own. Okay, we're closing them off here. Torpedoes away. Okay, we're forcing them down. Okay, you AI control, Squadron Max, move over. Light cruisers, get out of there. Okay, we're actually starting to get some really good hits in on these guys. Shell burst limited by coal bunker. Can we get some torpedoes off, please? Wow, okay, that's a lot of torpedoes being fired. Okay, let's bring it down to slow speed, please. Another round of 3 torpedoes being shot out. No hits on that. We are just absolutely spamming them with torpedoes, though. Pull away. Did we get a torpedo hit? We did got a fire hit, that's for damn sure. Brennus was hit by a torpedo. Heavy damage on fire. Haruna, Ikoma, pull over. Wow, they just launched so many torpedoes. Hit by a torpedo. Ikoma and Haruna can come in and finish it off. Yeah, that ship's dead. Okay, turn. Oh, it's going to be hard turn on that. Yeah, they're not having a good time turning into the... turning like that. Just keep going direction. Let's cruise speed a little bit. We don't need to go so hard on it. Zaven did launch some torpedoes, though. That might actually hit. Ooh, no hit on that. Okay, Haruna can come up. Kisaragi and Izumi can move around. We got the Fumizuki as well. That Brennus is dead. We're just just broadsiding in. No ships left. We win the day. We destroyed 2 dreadnoughts and we only took some heavy damage to 1 destroyer and a bunch of light damage. That's what happens when you send dreadnoughts with no escorts. Very, very good for us. Major victory. Fantastic. And we got a bunch more ships into it. We can secure better terms if we crush them. And yeah. Let's not start a war with Russia yet at the moment. Anyway, I think I'll be leaving the episode off there. We had a nearly an hour episode. I probably will hit an hour in the actual end of the video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. We're getting into the aircraft era now. We've got seaplanes and seaplane carriers, and we're starting construction on our first conversion of a light carrier. And we're at war with France now. And hopefully at the end of this war, we should be able to seize most of the French Indochina possessions, though maybe not all of them. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Please don't like, comment, subscribe. Really does help me out. And if you guys want more of this content, feel free, you can also become a member. Anyway, special thanks to members in Passive 9001, Scott Mundy, Ryan Smelly, It's Honey, Zaven, Death Himself, Cliff S, Bishop, Gravmania, Lewis Netto, and King Strozer.